you know, a lot of my work sort of reflects on both the sort of myths of Ireland and their particular love of the sea and love of the place underground, the place under the sea. A lot of their, like the little people or the fairy people, the Tuatha De Danann, they're underground. And that's why I built those boats, basically, was, you know, just sort of picking up on what the story of MacLear. And my work also incorporates what has happened to the Irish people in the course of migration over the last, you know, from 200 years ago during the famine, when 1.5 million died and 1 million left. And it's such a tragic sort of story, and from what I can tell, it was more or less repressed when they got to the States or Canada or here. They all said, don't talk about it, you know, don't bring back, you know, those memories, or we don't actually want to fight with the English who are here. So they didn't go on about it. And but anyway, so part of my work was about seeing how a repressed story plays out in people's lives anyway. And so I started drawing pictures of those big drawings that I made, one of Ned Kelly's mum and one of my friend there, but I've done half a dozen others. And one of the things I noticed was this crooked mouth that they had, you know, it was sort of like a grimace. And then I found these other sort of stories that were in about the photographs of during the famine and how it was written on the people's faces. So I don't want to sort of get into the sad side of it too much, because I think their true gift and the one that I think is resurgent now is forms of Celtic spirituality. And I got into it through working with a little bit through Aboriginal people, and their connection to the land is very similar to the Irish connection to land, or probably the Scottish and the Welsh as well have that same sort of, the divine is immanent in nature. It's not a transcendental God, it's in the land, it's in the trees, it's in the oak trees particularly. I like that idea of the underground sea, the underground river in terms of actual water, but also in the metaphor of Celtic spirituality. We have a tradition that to some degree is still vibrant and alive, and people are still writing books about it. The capacity of the heart to love, the capacities for forgiveness, and the capacity to find beauty in nature and have that deep connection to nature. When I walk around this particular area and visit those springs, or go into parts of the forest that still have got old growth trees, this place, it has got some little pockets of potent presence of the indigenous population. I found artefacts here of flints, and there's a tree here that was used for giving birth, hollowed out, very old tree. So, you know, the presence of ancestors, they're not my ancestors, but they're the ancestral indigenous spirit. But I think somehow that connects me to my own ancestral memory. the idea of the druidess and the druid. I like the concept of the sacred grove that you entered into. It's not nothing as grand as a church. It's very much of the earth, and that the trees themselves were sacred. I think I find it very profound to find the links again, so that we do all understand each other. So think about the fighting that goes on because of different cultures, and you know, if we don't get a grip and see our unity, then it's very tragic. It's very tragic. We're one people. It's not like, aren't we?
We are.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. But I think there's something potent in finding your own soul language, whatever that may be.
Yep.
Might be singing for you, whatever way we can. Yeah. You just want to get in through the door, get through that door.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how good it feels when you know you're very connected to your soul and spirit and to the other. The great mystery. The great mystery. It's the principle of taking one thing and making something else out of it. Ta-da!
Yes.